Perfecto, muchas gracias. Good morning everyone. How are you today? Bueno, nuevamente las disculpas del caso a nombre de todos nosotros. Si a veces, como les decía, esto sucede en la virtualidad, pero empezamos entonces. Quería recordarles, por favor, no se olviden que tienen que completar las actividades del Classroom. Tengo una cantidad asignada de lo que son las tareas y las actividades y no está completado ni al 10%. Recuerden, por favor, que esto es parte de la evaluación y que influye también en la adquisición del certificado. No se olviden, por favor, de entrar. Las actividades están abiertas hasta este viernes. Perfecto. Iniciamos entonces. Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to go ahead straight to the gaming part, okay? Game-based in learning game-based, sorry. Okay, so today we are going to work and we are going to start getting new activities that we can improve in our class. We are going to see the difference between based game learning and gaming, that they sound similar, but they are not the same, okay? And also, how can we use technology in our class? And in our last class, we will see the difference between the types of learning that we have today. Okay, so let's start today and welcome to your didactic class. Okay. Wait a minute. There it is. There. Excellent. Ok, el temario del día de hoy tenemos el objetivo de la sesión, la diferencia entre gamificación y el aprendizaje basado en juegos. Ok, definiciones, e-learning, be-learning, I will explain that, but we are going to develop it next class, ok? Tecnología en la educación, competencias y desempeños, que ya lo hemos visto la primera sesión, lo vamos a repasar el día de hoy, and benefits. Ok, please, your audios, thank you so much. Okay, so what is the purpose of this session, okay? What is the goal today? That we are going to analyze, classify, and use strategies according to the skills that our students are going to have, okay? We're going to develop the different skills using some games, toys, realia, and different dynamics that we have, okay? So, game-based learning. What is game-based learning? When I listen to this, what can I imagine? What do you think is going to happen in a class if I say today we're going to work with game-based learning? Use your chat, please, and tell me, give me an idea. What comes to your mind when I say this? Use your chat, come on. Dynamics, very good, Camila, thank you so much. Hello, Mariela, good morning. Estrategias lúdicas, yes, interactive class, excellent. What else? What else? What else can we say about game-based learning? Have fun through challenging tasks and competitions. Very good. We're getting closer. Come on, give me ideas. Help me here. Ludic strategies in learning process. Very good, excellent. What else? To use the games with points or rewards using different English topics. Very good. Actually, gaming and playing games when we are learning English as second language is very, very important. And you know that it's going to help us a lot, and to the students especially, to gain concepts and to have more vocabulary, because they have to use it and they're playing. Remember, when we relate experience with a positive emotion, it's going to be a good thing because they are going to remember. Memory comes with positive emotions. High motivation, very good. Enjoy learning, participation in class. Excellent. High motivation, cooperative work, very good and very important too. Activity in classes to introduce our class. Learning in a fun way, excellent. Games to activate the prior knowledge, motivate to learn and work in teams. Also, we talk about that in the first and second lesson, that we need to activate the previous knowledge. Because if we don't have an idea what our students are capable of doing, we are not going to be like able to give them more knowledge or more information. Imagine that we're trying to work with colors, but students don't know about colors. They don't know the vocabulary. So you want them to describe, for example, this pencil case. What color is it? But they don't know that it's color red. How are they going to describe if they don't know the color red? So we need to know what are we doing. We need to know what's going on. Okay? That way we are going to be able to know what they're doing. What else? So, actividades lúdicas para que participen en clase y aprender mejor. Exactly. When students are involved with the class, when they are involved with the class, they are going to be motivated to learn. So they are going to pay attention. Keyword for learning, attention and focus. The capacity, the ability that the student is going to have to focus in a task is going to make the student able to get information. Meaningful and memorable activities. Exactly what we were talking. Positive emotions are going to create positive behaviors in our class, are going to be better. The environment is going to be better for focus and attention. Focus, attention, positive emotions are going to lead us to the result that we are looking for. We are going to search the knowledge, we're going to search the information, and we are going to make it our own. If we don't make information our own, it's not going to be useful for us in our life. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with my students about artificial intelligence, for example. And we were discussing that if it was a tool that we could use, or if it was something that was like making us have to think less. Some of them were in the side of no, because I use GPT chat and I actually get the information, I read the information, and I can use it in my speech, in an essay, in a writing task, whatever they're doing. It was good. Yes, artificial intelligence is giving them the information, but they are making that information to their own, and they're like transforming it, changing it into knowledge. But what happens with students that just copy paste? They are not making that information, that knowledge, they are not making it their own knowledge. They are just copying information. So which student is going to be able to explain the topic if needed? The one that read, the one that understood, the one that analyzed. So that's what we want. That's what we're looking for when we're teaching, that a student analyze all the information that I'm giving and making it its or his or her own. Ok. Herramientas lúdicas para obtener la concentración y la atención. Exactly. We need to get their focus. We need to make them focus on us. Okay, so. La atención de los estudiantes es uno de los recursos más valiosos para asegurar una experiencia educativa de calidad. Para mantenerla, se han desarrollado diferentes estrategias didácticas en las que se encuentra tanto la gamificación como el aprendizaje basado en juegos. Okay? Part of all the things that we do in our class, getting previous knowledge, explaining the class what we're going to do, giving them the purpose, the goal of the session, beside giving them the information that they are going to use. If we're teaching grammar, we're teaching vocabulary, we need to give them the vocabulary they're going to work. We need to give them the rubrics they're going to work because they need to know what they're doing. But beside that, we need to create experience. We need to create an experience that they enjoy and actually a situation that is going to be helpful for them to do what we're asking. The example I always give, I teach, I don't know, money, currency. 1 sol, 10 soles, 20 soles, but what's going to be good for the student? Knowing the name of the bill or knowing what he can buy with it? Exactly. We need to know what he can buy. He needs to be able to go to the store, to get a soda, to get a chocolate, to get a Coca-Cola, to get the bread for la hora del lonchecito, and be able to know with which he's going to pay and how much or how many is going to be the change. How many coins they need to give me. If they don't know how to do that, it's not important for us to teach them what's the name of 10 soles, 20 soles, 50 soles. So remember that not only we're going to give information, we are going to create situations. To create situations that make them be like aware of what they're doing, we need to improve the environment they are studying. We need to create a good environment for learning. And this needs not only their attention, it needs to be a comfortable, a trustable environment. What happens when a student feels that he can't make a mistake because the teacher is going to say, ¿qué? No me estabas prestando atención. He's not going to want to ask questions. If a student is not asking questions, is not motivated to learn. If you really care about something, if you really are interested, you are like curious about something, you are going to want to learn more. You are going to want to know more. But what happens when you're not motivated? You don't care. You're not going to ask. You are just going to do what the teacher is going to tell you to do. And that's it, because I want my mark. I want to be graded. I want to have my certificate. But I'm not going to be interested in learning. First, when we want to teach, we need to know how we learn. What's good for you? How do you learn better? How do you feel comfortable when you're learning? Then you can ask your students how they like to learn and make an average to everyone to understand, okay? So what's going to be like the consequences of aprendizaje basado en juegos, gamificación in the class? Actividades lúdicas. First, la vinculación social. We know, and we have seen this in lesson 1, that students are going to be more like happy to learn something or motivated to learn something if they feel comfortable in the environment that they are. We know that children are social. They need to socialize to learn because they see, they imitate, they listen, they analyze, they judge. The purpose, we need to have a purpose. I can't start my class saying, okay, class, today we're going to play Pac-Man. Why? What are we doing with the Pac-Man? I need to have a goal on the game that I'm playing. For example, there are games, virtual games in different websites that I'm going to show you today that have Pac-Man, have planes, trains. There are like arcade games with topics, with grammar, with vocabulary. And you're going to be able to show your students, to teach them vocabulary using this kind of games, using a Tetris game, a Pac-Man game, a mole game, autonomía. Why do we need our students to be autonomous? Because they need to know that they are able to do the job or the task or the work that you're asking for. What happens with a student that is not confident about his or her skills? You know what is going to happen? He or she is not going to be motivated at all. If I think I can't do something, I am not going to even try because I don't want to feel embarrassed. I don't want to feel bad about a situation. That's why we need to motivate them and also give them a trustable environment when they feel that they can make mistakes. And it's not a bad thing. You can make a mistake. You can correct that mistake and it's going to be okay. And no one is going to judge. You're learning. So, the competence. Do you remember, Roblox or Minecraft? Yeah, there are also very good games using these kind of games. And now they are like fashion because all my students, the young learners, are using these kind of games and they love them. The competence. I need to develop the competence. And this goes with the goal, con la finalidad de lo que estoy haciendo. For example, if I am going to work with reading comprehension exercises, my goal is for them to get information from written text. But I play, I don't know, an audio. It's not going to have any reason to be. I can't use an audio if I am working reading. I use an audio for working listening. Okay, today we're going to have a written essay. I am going to work with written production. And I am making them, I don't know, a role play. To work with a role play, it's very important for speaking, not for written production. I need to know what is going to be my competence, my capacity. And with that, I need to know what is going to be the goal of the things that I'm doing, the exercises, the activities that I'm having. That way, I'm going to be able to develop the skill that I want the student to develop. Okay, what are the characteristics of the games? The goal. Resultado que los jugadores quieren conseguir por su participación en el juego. ¿Qué tienen que lograr? What they need to achieve. Okay, for example, I am giving them a letters and snake game. Actually, some time ago, I bought a very big dice. It's huge. And I have this game and I just like project it on the board. And they start playing with the dice in real life. But what's the goal of the game that I'm doing? I want them to complete sentences using present simple in affirmative and negative form. They need to know what's the goal of the game. So I need to explain that to them. Then they are going to be able to play. But rules need to be clear for them to be able to participate with me. Okay, the rules. If we don't have clear rules, some students are going to not be aware of what they want to do, and that's going to create that they don't relate with the topic that we're doing. They're not going to connect to our class. The feedback, sometimes we forget about the feedback. What happens when we don't do the feedback at the right time? If we are doing a speaking activity, we are doing a role play, and you made a mistake, grammar mistakes, vocabulary mistakes, or spelling mistakes. What happens if I don't correct that in that moment? And I call you 2 or 3 weeks later to tell you, you remember that when you were talking about the environment, you said you has, and remember that you need to use you have. Are you going to remember what am I talking about? Probably not. Probably you're not going to remember at all what I'm saying. So we need to get them the feedback at the time, the correct time, in the moment that they're doing things. Remember that it's all about how we say things, not what we're saying. I can say the same things in a good, polite way, or making them feel embarrassed. One, it's going to make them grow, learn, evolve. The other one is going to make them don't want to speak ever again. So remember that the way that we're speaking, the tone that we use is very important, okay? So the volunteer participation. Here, for example, I have like 50-50, because before pandemics, the students that used to participate were the ones that were comfortable in the class, right? But with pandemics, especially virtual classes, most of teenagers and adults do not turn on the cameras. And it's very common that teacher is speaking to all black cameras, black screens. And it's okay, because if I call you and you are there, it's good. But with that, we have lost a lot of participation in our class. Because when you are in face-to-face classes, you can say, hey, you, hey, you. But in virtual classes, it's not that simple. So we have lost participation and volunteering participation. So sometimes, yes, we can ask for volunteers. But what happens if all the time are the same volunteers? What happens if all the time the same students are participating, the same people is coming to the board? We don't have 3 students, we don't have 4 students, we have 25 students, we have 30 students. And if you have 15 students that don't want to participate, you need to call them. You need to make them come, because they need to connect with what you're doing. Using a good tone, using a good manner, but you need to make them connect with you. That way they are going to learn. If they don't feel related to the class, to the teacher, they are not going to learn. And this comes from elementary students, young learners, teenagers, adults, and even more adults. They need to feel connection. They need to feel related with your class, with their learning. They need to feel comfortable. Okay? So this is something that when I started getting skills in teaching English, I have heard a lot of times that is very important. What is kinesthetic? Actually, it's an intelligence. It's called inteligencia kinestética. What is that? What do you think it is? Look at the pictures. Analyze the pictures and tell me in the chat, what do you think is kinesthetic intelligence? Okay. Inteligencia del movimiento. Yes, very good. That's true. What is going to do kinesthetic, especially in teaching English as second language? Because you know that when we teach other subjects, it's easier for them because they are talking in modern language. We are not modern language most of the time. So what is going to do kinesthetic in our career, in our way of teaching? What is going to do for the students? How it's going to help? Learn through movement and experimentation. Abilities to answer by movement or gestures. Very good. What else? What else? Come on. I want to hear your ideas. I want to listen to you too. I am not the only one here. Come on. Help me. How is kinesthetic intelligence going to help me teaching English or any other language that is not mother language? You know that a lot of students are not native. They are learning as a second language, English. They are not immersed in the situation. It's easier for any person to learn if you are in an environment that speaks in English, thinks in English, talks in English. In our case, that is not our environment. So we need to create that environment. Abilities to answer by movement or gestures. Yes. Helping a lot, especially with kids, and the children love it. Yes, they love it. And not only children, not only young learners. You know that actually when I teach English with adults, I make them run, introduce some activities, some topics as part of motivation, ability to control one's body movement and handle objects skillfully. Yes. When I teach adults, I make them move. I make them run to the whiteboard. I make them make groups, dance, sing, jump. And they enjoy as they were young learners. When I teach, for example, methodology, because there are a lot of people that want to give courses about something, but they don't know how to teach, and I help them with that. I make them sit on the floor, write in big papers, use markers, do mimics, do role plays. So kinesthetic is not only for young learners. It's for every student. We people love the movement. We love to move because if we don't move, we get lazy. We are sleepy. We don't focus. We can't focus in something for long periods of time. Remember that our focus is not more than 20 minutes each activity. If I don't change this in 10 minutes, you are going to fall asleep. I bet. Yes, that's true. Exactly. Se usa, por ejemplo, para enseñar verbos de movimiento. They feel motivated. Physical activity connects some commands, expressions, chants, helps to get a significant learning in the perception of body movement. Can we use that in writing activity? Yes, of course, because you can introduce the vocabulary through a song, through a poem, through a role play. Yes, you are going to use the speaking, but they need the vocabulary for writing. Action verbs, for example, you can introduce action verbs using songs, and then you can ask them to describe something using action verbs. My daily routine, for example. You can use poems using my daily routine. You can use these esas ruletas for daily routines, for the hour. What time is it? And then you can ask them to write their daily routine related to the hour that they do it, and it's going to be a writing task. But remember that you need to set the goal first. If you don't set the goal, they are not going to understand, why am I singing? What do I need to do with this? You need to pay attention to the action verbs because you are going to write them. The goal needs to be set and clear. It doesn't matter if you need to like repeat and repeat and repeat the goal, because sometimes students forget, but they need to have clear what they're doing. Have you noticed that sometimes when you're in class, you're giving the instructions of what you're going to do, you're setting the goals, and you finish all your explanation, and then a student raises his or her hands and says, ¿qué tenemos que hacer? You have had that, right? We all do. And that means that he wasn't focused on what you were saying. His attention, her attention was in other place. So you need to go again and go again until they have the task clear. It's going to help a lot if you write the task in the whiteboard, because that way they can watch the board, they can read what it says, and they're not going to be asking, so they don't interrupt the other students' work. Okay, but you need to set the goal clear, always, not only for gaming, also for writing tasks, for reading tasks. They need to know what they're doing. We love dynamic classes. Yes, of course, we all do. One time, I remember that I have this first aid class. It was virtual because we were in pandemic, in the middle of it. And we were talking about first aid. And the doctor had this level of voice. I crossed my heart. I have to say, I didn't finish. I fell asleep in the middle of the class. Everything was theory. Letters, 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 letters. No practice, no videos, no participation in the class. And he was like, okay, now what? Next year, I have that one was with a doctor, I think. Next year, we had the same talk about first aid, but this time was a doctor that was also a fireman. And he started showing pictures, real pictures about his job. And also he started showing videos about real accidents that he had to help. And we were like, oh my God, that's real, that happened. Actually, I saw a picture that shocked me a lot. It was this bridge, San Pedro Bridge, the way to Lurín, and it fell. There was a very big accident in San Pedro Bridge, and it fell. A truck was on top of it, and it fell over four cars. In the picture, we saw like 6, 7, 8 ambulance cars, and also a lot of firemen, a lot of policemen, and we were like, wow, it was huge. And then he showed us what he had to do, like taking care of the injuries, the people that was hurt, people that was more hurt. So those kind of things, even people that was just emotionally shocked, because first aid also goes with people that it's afraid of something. And we were talking about these things, and it was dynamic because he was asking for questions. He was asking for opinions. What do you think? What would you do in this situation? Do you imagine having to help in this kind of accidents? And we were like very connected to the class. It was the same class. It was the same time. What was the difference? In one, my opinion, worth something. In the other one, it was like watching a YouTube video. That's going to make the difference between one class and another. For example, I think that we use kinesthetic intelligence when we teach routines, activities. We can perform non-verbal movements such as sweeping, washing, etc. Excellent. Students move and express new vocabulary, having fun and sense of team. Very good. Healthy food. For numbers, bingo, yes. Healthy food. You can use realia. You can make them touch fruits. You can make them smell things. Even you can ask them to bring things and taste them. They are moving. Maybe can I stick around the classroom? Yes, also. You can make them relate the name with a picture. Or memory games in the board. Use realia or mask. You know that we teachers use a lot of kinesthetic? When we're teaching, for example, vocabulary, we move a lot. When you're especially with young learners, the first grades, it's like you eat because you want them to remember that eat is eating. You eat your chocolate. Or when you're teaching animals, have you realized that we move with the animals? The dog was barking. The cat was saying meow. If we are a frog and we start jumping, we start making movements, we make gestures. When we teach I like, I don't like. I like something, I don't like something. When we use, for example, emotions. I am happy to be here, I don't like homework. We use a lot of kinesthetic to show what we're trying to say without using Spanish. Because we all know that translating is not a good way of teaching English. You can, yes, but it's not the best way because it's going to take more time for the student to be able to think in English. So, ¿qué es la inteligencia kinestética? La inteligencia kinestética es la habilidad de usar el cuerpo para expresar ideas, emociones, para manipular, transformar objetos, para demostrar mayor destreza y especialmente, en inglés, para conceptualizar vocabulario. Nosotros los profesores de inglés usamos muchísimo la inteligencia kinestética. Tenemos que ayudarnos de la inteligencia kinestética con gestos, con movimientos, con demostraciones, con realia, con juegos. Now, aprendizaje basado en juegos y gamificación. ¿Suena que es lo mismo? Yes, but it's not. So, what are we going to do right now? I am going to give you the link of a Jamboard. There are 2 pages in this Jamboard. What you're going to do, you are going to create a note with what you think is aprendizaje basado en juegos. Then you are going to go to page number 2 and you are going to create a note with what you think right now it's gamificación. Okay, I am going to put the link on the chat. Just a minute. Okay, let's go to the chat. To everyone. Okay, the link of the Jamboard is on the chat. Create a note, like a post-it, and please write your names because I have a lot of post-its everywhere, but I don't know who is like giving me the ideas. And remember also, there is no bad idea. We all have good ideas, and with all these ideas, we are going to create a concept. Okay, so don't be shy. Come on, create your note and tell me, what do you think aprendizaje basado en juegos is? Also, in page number 2, create a note and tell me, what do you think gamificación is? As I said before, they are not the same. Okay, And do not use Google, no cheating. Come on, I want to know, what do you think right now? No research. Because we are going to create, with all these ideas, we are going to create one concept that you are going to get at the end of the class. Okay? Come on, no cheating, no researching. Give me your ideas. What do you think is right now in this moment? What's in your head? Come on. Okay, I see a lot of you that are connected. Excellent. I love it. Come on, create your notes. Games. Yes, Carmen, there are games, but there are different ways of using games. Remember this, not all the games are going to be good for all the skills. Okay, we need to set the goal clear. Always we need to have a goal set for the game that we're using. It's not bad to use games or make them play something. The bad thing is that this game is a waste of time and it's not creating any knowledge. That's the difference. Okay, I have my first post-it. Excellent. Aprendizaje es hacer juegos con creatividad. Okay, oh. Se fue para arriba. Wait. Ok, ya. Listo. Usando realia, dibujos, imágenes, movimientos del cuerpo. Thank you, Rosa. Excellent. Very good. Es un concepto más amplio que el juego. Es un elemento esencial en el aprendizaje. Se refiere a actividades que se hacen para motivar un aprendizaje. Excellent. Yes. Use the games in your lesson plan. Yeah, very good. Again, the goals need to be clear. Okay? And we need to have a goal. Imagine that I say, okay, I have 2 hours today. And I am teaching, I don't know, action verbs. And then, okay, we're all going to go to the yard and we are going to play soccer. What is soccer doing with my class and with action verbs? Yeah, playing, but if they don't know, it's not going to have any sense. So it's going to be a waste of time. I need to set the goal. Okay. Juegos que involucran un gran número de alumnos. Yes, we need to play with all of them. Because if one is not playing, it's not going to be motivated, it's going to be bored. El cambio de usar diferentes herramientas, tecnologías, por ejemplo, Wordle, Kahoot, quizzes. Yes, actually, yes. And we are going to learn that there is not only virtual games, we have also kinesthetic games and when it's okay to use them, okay? Number 2, okay, gamificación, todas las herramientas que se usan de las TICs para conseguir un producto. Exactly, gamificación, gaming is going to come from most of the time rewards, avatars, and we mostly use it in virtual classes. Yes. Hacer de tu clase un juego. Yeah, but it needs to have a purpose, okay? Don't forget that. Okay, someone created a third page. No, it's only page 1 and page 2, no page 3. Okay. Okay. Milagros, voy a mover aquí para poder leer. Listo. Es una estrategia en la que se utilizan juegos para que el estudiante de una forma divertida revise o consolide su aprendizaje. Se utiliza realia, juguetes, herramientas digitales en las que se motiva. Yes, exactly. We're going to use games and creating a fun environment for them to be able to realize what they're doing and to use what we're teaching in a real situation. Excellent. Fomente el aprendizaje significativo. Ahí quiero llegar. Real situations where you can use what is going on, what I'm teaching you. Again, si no vas a poder ir a comprar a la tienda, de nada sirve que te enseñe monedas. ¿Ok? Juegos durante la clase. Se puede seguir a los estudiantes, sugerir a los estudiantes que mediante juegos puedan explicar un tema. Exactly. You know that there is actually a very interesting way or method that it's been used lately, especially in college. Pregrado, posgrado is using it a lot, okay? What happens with this? It's called flipped classroom. This way, students need to make the class. I am only going to be here for you to know if it's correct or not what you're saying, but you are going to teach me the class. I give you the information, you read, you research, and you create a PowerPoint material to the class. And that way, you are going to be able to learn by teaching. That is what we're going to do next class. On Monday, I am going to upload the material and we're going to have a flip class. I am going to have 5 volunteers to explain to me what flip class is. Okay? Very good. Thank you so much for participating. Muchísimas gracias de verdad. Me encantan los alumnos que siempre están participando, siempre están comentando. Me encanta leer sus ideas. Me encanta ver que se involucran. De verdad, es lo máximo poder enseñar así porque uno se siente conectado, a pesar que no estamos al costadito, pero estamos aquí. Otro sábado en la mañana con nuestro cafecito. Ok, let's go to gaming. Para aprender a través del juego para lograr un mejor desempeño. Gladys, thank you so much. It's true. Se refiere a todas las herramientas que se usan de los TICs para conseguir un producto. Excelente. Ahora, nosotros estamos más relacionados con el aprendizaje basado en juegos que con la gamificación. ¿Por qué? Y esto se los digo en español. Porque nosotros venimos de un modelo de escuela presencial. Entonces, durante mucho tiempo, nuestra manera de enseñar ha sido presencial, face to face. ¿Qué pasa con esto? Que nosotros estamos acostumbrados a la realia, a los juegos de movimiento, a que los chicos se paren, bailen, salten, cuenten, vean colores. Entonces, eso es el aprendizaje basado en juegos. Crear experiencias de juego relacionadas al tema que estás trabajando para que los alumnos conceptualicen lo que están haciendo y lo puedan aplicar en situaciones reales. ¿Dónde nace la gamificación? Cuando entramos más que nada a lo que es la educación virtual. ¿Por qué? Porque la gamificación va ligada muy cercanamente a la tecnología. Con el uso de avatars, con el uso de incentivos virtuales, en sí, el reward del estudiante va a ser el juego en sí. Entonces, no se utiliza tanto el que ganó la competencia o la competitividad, sino más que nada se utiliza que la gratificación instantánea que va a tener es el solo estar jugando. Por eso va ligado directamente a la tecnología, porque los chicos ahora conectan mucho más con la tecnología. Y les genera un ambiente de confianza, porque es con lo que están creciendo. Los chicos ahora nacen con el computador bajo el brazo, nacen con el celular en la mano, saben utilizarlo. Y esto me ha pasado a mí con mi hijo de 8 años. O sea, el otro día yo me estaba peleando con mi teléfono porque quería abrir un aplicativo y no podía. Y estaba que me peleaba. Bueno, yo soy de la época, como les dije en la primera clase, en la que el celular era un jabón de este tamaño con pantalla verde y yo jugaba Snake y eso era así recontra tecnológico. Era la última tecnología. Y estaba peleándome con el teléfono y viene mi hijo de 8 años, lo coge y me dice, mami, ¿qué quieres hacer? Y le digo, quiero abrir esto, pero no me deja. Mami, es que no le has quitado el lock. Abrió, cogió el candado, me dio el permiso, todo, y me dijo, ya, ahora sí puedes. Y le dio clic y se abrió. Obviamente lo miré. En ese momento fue, o sea, orgullosa como madre, oh por Dios, mi hijo, qué inteligente, ¿no? Y por otro lado era, mocoso este. Entonces al final le digo gracias, porque sí, obviamente me resolvió el problema, pero ellos tienen esto ya en la sangre. O sea, ya nacen familiarizados con la tecnología. Por eso es que la gamificación es algo que se está utilizando muchísimo ahora. Nace en la parte virtual cuando empezamos a virtualizar la educación. Y ahora se utiliza muchísimo. Ahora, justo estaba leyendo antes de ayer un artículo acerca de que muchos países primermundistas que han digitalizado mucho la educación, en este momento están retrocediendo en ese proceso. ¿Por qué? Porque está ligado directamente a que ha disminuido mucho la capacidad de razonamiento de los estudiantes. Ha disminuido su motivación y su responsabilidad en el cumplimiento de tareas. Porque como ahora todo es Google y todo es copy-paste y todo está en la web y todo está en Internet, no necesitan producir, no necesitan hacer las cosas. Incluso este chat GPT te hace resúmenes de lecturas. Tú le copias la lectura y le dices, un favor, resúmelo, y lo resume. Entonces, la capacidad de razonamiento de los chicos, la capacidad de aplicación en situaciones reales ha disminuido mucho por la tecnología. Y ahorita Suiza, que es uno de los pioneros en educación, ha dado un paso atrás, ha quitado los computadores para los alumnos de los colegios y ha empezado a utilizar nuevamente libros de texto. Porque el alumno necesita producir para aprender, necesita aplicar. Si no aplica, no aprende. Si no conceptualiza, si no hace suyo el conocimiento, no aprende. Y por eso es que están tratando de disminuir el uso de tecnología para que sea una herramienta, no una muleta. Félix, gamificación, no, Milagro, perdón, es una técnica para utilizar juegos con fines educativos. Existen una gran variedad de apps, herramientas que promueven el uso de la tecnología. Exactly. Yes. Very good. Now, let's see. I am going to show you your answers. This, for example, it's gaming. It's a way of gaming. Because you are all participating in one page. It's virtual. You have an immediate reward because I am just reading and talking to you about your comments. So yes, this is gaming. La gamificación tiene sus propios pasos de aprendizaje con juegos, algo que podemos adaptar. Ok, es cierto, sí, pero tenemos que adaptarlo. We need to have the goals clear. Está relacionado a juegos de manera virtual utilizando tecnología. Yes, we use a lot of TICs. Hace años era así en nuestros tiempos, pero ahora es todo juego, pero lo hacen mal uso. Yes, that's why we need to guide their job, their work. We need to guide what they're doing. We need to set the goals so they know what we expect from them. What are we expecting? What we want them to know, to learn. Mucha automatización, poco sentido de la responsabilidad e interacción en la sociedad y el entorno. Yes. El 2021, Switzerland made this test to their public schools. And the thinking capacity of their students was 30% lower since they were using technology in their classes. 30% lower in 2021. That's why this year they took all computers from public schools and they have books again. Todo es emplear correctamente. Yes, we can use it. It's a tool, but we need to be there. We need to supervise. We need to walk. We need to see what they're doing. We need to make them use a tool. Not that technology is going to make their work. En USA los alumnos de secundaria solo usan computador y no escriben. Exactly, pero hay algo que aprender bien. Toda herramienta bien empleada nos va a ayudar y va a ser algo positivo. El problema es cuando no hay una supervisión, no hay un control, no hay un seguimiento correcto, es donde empieza el mal uso y deja de ser una herramienta y pasa a ser una muleta. Contextualizar de acuerdo a la situación. Yes, it's going to help a lot to make this. So, let's continue. Aprendizaje basado en juegos. ¿Qué es? Es una metodología que utiliza el juego, analógico o digital, original adaptado de otros existentes y de creación propia, para desarrollar los aprendizajes y favorecer la adquisición de competencias. For example, if we are teaching vocabulary, we can use memory games. name and picture, past, present. ¿Para qué nos sirve? Para facilitar el aprendizaje mediante la diversión, la interacción social, la participación activa y la motivación que generan las dinámicas y mecánicas del juego. Remember that students are going to be more likely to learn something if they socialize, ¿ok? Atributos: aprendizaje activo, motivador y significativo, diversión integrada en el aprendizaje, interacción con las TICs y socialización. ¿Qué factores intervienen en el juego? Las dinámicas. ¿Qué me motiva? La socialización, la curiosidad, el estatus, el debate, la participación. Mecánicas. ¿Qué interacciones se dan en el juego? El lanzar dados, seleccionar cartas, pararme la pizarra, encontrar el igual, encontrar el nombre, cambiar de celdas, descifrar enigmas, storytelling. La mecánica que utilicemos también tiene que estar clara. Elementos. ¿Qué puedo incorporar al juego para incentivar el desarrollo de las mecánicas? Personajes, puntuación, recompensas, cartas, niveles, fichas, videos, canciones. ¿Cómo lo aplico en el aula? Selecciono los objetivos, usar, adaptar y crear un juego contextualizando las mecánicas de los objetivos, incorporar o diseñar los elementos con los que se van a desarrollar las mecánicas del juego, establecer las instrucciones, planificar los procesos de evaluación, establecer diferentes niveles de dificultad, porque no puedo poner algo que sea muy fácil. Si estoy enseñando un nivel de inglés, necesito que conceptualicen cierta cantidad de palabras, mi juego tiene que ir con ese nivel de dificultad. Testear el juego y realizar los ajustes necesarios. Siempre vamos a tener ensayo-error y siempre vamos a poder corregir esta dinámica. Nada está escrito en piedra. Ok, ventajas. Motivas al alumno. Lo ayudas a razonar de manera autónoma. Permite el aprendizaje activo. Da al alumno el control de su aprendizaje, porque él va a ver cómo lo conceptualiza, cómo lo entiende, cómo lo analiza y cómo lo explica. Proporciona información útil al profesor. Vas a poder sondear cuál es tu población. Potencia la creatividad y la imaginación. Fomenta las habilidades sociales y contribuye a la alfabetización digital o a la alfabetización, adquisición de vocabulario. Algunos ejemplos de aprendizaje basado en juegos: charades, snakes and ladders, Scrabble, roleplay, memory games. Esos son solo algunos ejemplos, tenemos infinidad. Acting, speaking, we have memory games, we have pointing things, we have a lot of things, singing, dancing, walking, mimics. Porque estoy integrando ese juego dentro del aprendizaje y la información que yo les estoy haciendo llegar. Gamificación, acá viene la diferencia. Si vemos en la figura, if we can see in the picture, we have level, avatar, control, target, and rewards. ¿Ok? Crea un ambiente didáctico atractivo para el alumno y aprovecha la predisposición natural de los estudiantes con actividades lúdicas para mejorar la motivación hacia el aprendizaje, la adquisición de conocimientos, de valores, el desarrollo de las competencias en general. La gamificación puede ser usada en todos los niveles educativos, desde preescolar hasta posgrado, además de áreas como la formación e integración laboral. What's the thing of gaming? It's very nearly related to technology, okay? Most of the things about gaming are related to technology. Don't forget that. Some examples that we can see here is Class Dojo. Have you heard of Class Dojo? Raise your virtual hand if you have worked with Class Dojo. Come on. Yeah, Adriana, very good. Maribel, excellent. Okay, I am going to close this so I can watch all the hands. Very good. Just 2 students have worked with Class Dojo? Yes? only 2 students have worked with Class Dojo? Isabel, very good. Mariela, excellent. Thank you. Yes. Class Dojo is a tool that I use with young learners, especially first and second grader. Yes, Claudia, I know Class Dojo is great. They get points every time that they do something. Don't worry, Gladys. I am going to introduce it to you right now. So the thing is that Class Dojo, here it is. It's like, here I am. Class Dojo is this website that you can use to reward your students. I use it a lot with young learners. First, the second, and third grade are crazy about this. Creas tu aula y le pones a cada uno de tus alumnos un muñequito, un monstruito en este caso. Lo colocas en un proyector, lo proyectas, lo tienes en la computadora y cada vez que participan, se portan bien, logran hacer lo que tú les pediste, cumplen la tarea o se esfuerzan, les pones un punto. Y al final del día, cada uno de ellos va viendo cuántos puntos tiene. Tú lo puedes manejar diario, semanal, mensual, bimestral. Los que terminan, por ejemplo, en el top 3 o los que tienen más de 15 puntos, si no quieres cerrarlo a top 3, tienen un reward. No necesariamente les vas a dar algo físico, ¿no? O sea, muchas veces nosotros les damos un chocolate, un caramelito como reward. También puede ser un ticket para que se siente con su amigo por un día, o un ticket para que sea tu ayudante, tu asistente, o un ticket para que ese día borre la pizarra. O sea, el reward que tú manejes, al final va a ser el que tú te sientas más cómoda con tus alumnos. Pero esto hace que ellos se motiven y quieran tener puntos. Entonces están concentrados, están atentos y lo más importante, participan. I use this with the tiny ones because when I tried to use it with 5th or 6th grade, they were like, ay, los monstruitos son así medio rosaditos. So, yeah, but with young learners, it's very, very good. This is gaming. We can also see word wall. Word wall is there are exercises, interactive exercises in kind of games. Here in word wall, you can find planes, Pac-Man, Tetris, like the moles. You have to punch the moles. You have also to complete. You have also to correct if it's true, if it's not. And most of these tools are for free. You can find them in the web. You just Google present tense word wall, and you can open the word wall and you can play it. I am going to give you the link of a word wall right now, so you're going to be able to play with it, okay? Just a minute, and I am going to set the link on the chat. Wait, what is this? No, this is Class Dojo. Here it is. Okay. Okay, the link is on the chat. Open it, and you need to complete sentences using present tense in affirmative or negative, okay? Also interrogative. So we are working with present tense grammar, and you need to complete the sentences using the correct form of the verb. Come on, click on the link and complete. You are going to write your scores in the chat, okay? Write your score once you finish. Yeah, sometimes this happens. The internet connection is not good, especially lately. I don't know what's going on. But lately, the internet connection is very slow and very heavy. So in those cases, maybe we don't make all of them to use the technology, but maybe I can, and I project it on the board, or I use the smart boards, and they can raise their hands and go to the board and then return to their seats, and that's kinesthetic too. Okay, don't forget to write your scores. No se olviden de ponerme los puntajes. Vamos. I am going to give you 5 minutes. No, too much. 3 minutes to work. Come on. You have 2 more minutes. Hurry up. One more minute. Okay, time's up. Write your scores in the chat. Come on. Very good. Thank you, Patty. 1,056. Excellent. Okay, come on. Oh, 1,710. Excellent, Fernanda. Very good, Alejandra. Thank you, Gladys. Excellent, Catherine. Very good. Great. See, we can use these kind of games to make them play. They are playing, they are enjoying, and they're also using grammar. And what is the reward? What is the reward? The reward is my score. I am watching my score. I am proud of my score. Thank you, Alejandra. Very good, Roxana. Jack, excellent. Very good. You did it great. Isabel, great. Excellent. Elizabeth, excellent. Very good. Bien, Camila, excellent. Very good, very good. These kind of games are going to make us want to do more. We want to learn more. We want more score. I want to do it again. I want to play again. What do I use, for example, with my students? I tell them, since 500 to, I don't know, 2,000 are going to be able to have 2 minutes to relax and talk to their friends. So they know and they make an effort to have more points. They like it. Yeah, they like it a lot. Actually, they are very competitive, you know. I can listen to them sometimes because I work right now with preparation to the FCE. So there are teenagers and adults. And they play in their phones. And I can listen to them like, no, ¿por qué? And I was like, okay, relax, everything is okay. But they enjoy it a lot. I did this kind with my students. Yes, it's very interesting. I learned how to use this when we were at virtual classes, and now I still use it in face-to-face classes. Susana, Adriana, thank you so much. Great, yes. So even we can try to, we can have tools, virtual tools, that are going to make us sure that they're learning. I am going to share to you. I won't give it to you because it's going to take too long, okay? But I'm going to show you what we work. Okay, I'm going to close my class dojo. And let's see, I have it here. For example, one tool that we can use to evaluate students is the live worksheets. Live worksheets have all the material, grammar, listening, reading, writing, even you have tests like first certificate, CAE, PET, CAT, starters, movers, flyers. You have simulations of the exam. So what they need to do here, they need to, for example, choose the correct pictures. I watch TV after school. They have to look for, where is watching TV? Watching TV. Number 4, they match. Okay, they match. Again, she usually dries her hair after bath. Dries her hair. Number 1. What's the positive part of this gaming? That you finish all this. I am not going to finish because it will take too long. And you just check your answers and it's going to give you your score. You are going to get your score in that moment. If you are using it in your class, you can just write the marks to register them, but they are going to get their score in that moment. So that's the immediate reward. That's the positive reward. They can see what they're doing and what's the result of it. Yes, live worksheets are very useful. Yes, of course they are. Excellent. I use it as an example and then I give them real situations. Exactly. You can ask for the screenshots and if you are in the class, you just can go one by one and see what's their score, of course. Remember that most of us, if we work in schools, we have to change them into letters. So you need to have an average, okay? Yes, virtual classes. We use it a lot on virtual classes, I know. We have live worksheets. We have also, I know that you have played, that you know what Kahoot is, right? So that's also another kind of game that it's going to let us know what level we are handling in our class, because it's going to give us an average, and that's good. So, diferencias. Esto es importante porque, como les dije al inicio, no es lo mismo. Suena a lo mismo, suena a que fuera la traducción del español al inglés. No es lo mismo. Cuando trabajamos lo que es aprendizaje basado en juegos, aprendizaje basado en problemas, aprendizaje basado en proyectos, tienen una forma, tienen una secuencia, tienen ciertos puntos que tenemos que cumplir para que este aprendizaje se dé de la manera correcta. ¿Cuál es la diferencia? Gamificación versus aprendizaje basado en juegos. Gamificación, aplicación de elementos mecánicos y dinámicas propias en los juegos en entornos tradicionalmente no lúdicos. Sí son interactuados, pero no lúdicos en el sentido de que no hay un movimiento del alumno generalmente. Se añaden características, pero no se realizan cambios en el contenido. Se puede perder o no el objetivo, porque es motivacional. Acuérdense que ellos van a ver el resultado inmediato. El juego propio es la recompensa. Lo que les decía, van a ver el resultado en ese momento, van a ganar, ahí tienen la recompensa. Hay reglas con elementos flexibles, se puede manejar. Tenemos Kahoot, Quizlet, ClassDojo, ClassCraft, etc. Aprendizaje basado en juegos. Se utilizan juegos creados o existentes con fines didácticos para la temática que estoy trabajando. El contenido es normalmente transformado para adaptarse al formato del juego. Existe la posibilidad de perder. Ganar es la recompensa. Hay formas, reglas y elementos invariables. O sea, tenemos que tener las reglas claras porque generalmente esto se da de manera presencial. Tienen que estar claras e inamovibles, especialmente la disposición que tiene el alumno de jugar. Trivia, risk, cooperation, memory games, pointing, etc. Ahora, ¿qué otras diferencias podemos encontrar? El sistema de premios basado en juegos fomenta el proceso del aprendizaje, ¿ok? En la gamificación está orientado al logro de objetivos, conocimientos adquiridos ante el juego, experiencia competitiva. Utiliza misiones para evaluar o testear el conocimiento. O sea, yo te doy un nivel de dificultad y de ti va a depender el puntaje que saques si tú llegas a ese nivel que yo te estoy pidiendo. Recompensas o insignias o logros o puntajes o el resultado inmediato que ellos pueden ver. Aprendizaje basado en el juego. La transferencia de conocimientos se incorpora a la experiencia del juego. Por medio de la dinámica, yo te brindo la experiencia de este juego o de la información que quiero que tú entiendas. Orientado al aprendizaje, transforma la sala de formación en un juego. Usa el pensamiento crítico y la resolución de problemas. Simula situaciones de trabajo o escenarios empresariales. Aprendizaje progresivo en un contexto. ¿Ok? Esas son las diferencias. Uno va a incorporar el juego dentro del aprendizaje. El otro es para reforzar este aprendizaje y que él mismo mida su nivel de conocimiento a base de esfuerzo. Beneficios que podemos encontrar en ambos. Participación activa, motivación, respeto, trabajar en equipo, socialización, inclinación por jugar y aprender haciendo. Ahora que trabajamos mucho con los proyectos, que trabajamos mucho con las situaciones significativas, el aprender haciendo es muy importante. E incluso, la clase anterior vimos dos tendencias, ¿se acuerdan? ¿Se acuerdan cuáles eran las tendencias de la clase pasada? ¿A quiénes vimos? A ver, los leo. A ver, me sale que sí estoy compartiendo, pero voy a volverla a compartir por si no la están viendo. Los leo. ¿Cuáles fueron las tendencias que vimos la clase pasada? Vygotsky, ¿no es cierto? Social cultural, sociocultural, y Montessori, aprendo haciendo, aprendo experimentando. Exacto. Ahora, hay una también que se escucha bastante e incluso muchos colegios ahora aquí en Lima la están pidiendo, que es la metodología Reggio Emilia, que también se basa en la experimentación. Pero ¿cuál es la diferencia entre Montessori y Reggio Emilia? Reggio Emilia nos pide que el alumno construya su conocimiento en base a la experiencia que nosotros le brindamos. Aquí, por ejemplo, entra lo del flip classroom. Yo te doy la información, pero tú me vas a hacer la clase porque tú me vas a decir qué es lo que entendiste de esta clase. Tú me enseñas a mí. Eso es muy Reggio Emilia. Sin embargo, Montessori nos decía que aprenden en base a experimentar situaciones reales de la información que yo les estoy brindando. El PPT de la sesión 2 sí está, pero está en PDF, porque si lo cuelgo en PPT pesa mucho. Lo encuentras en la parte que dice sesión 2 y también está la grabación de la clase por si quieren chequearla. Ok, ahora, game-based learning. The game is the fun way and develops social and linguistic skills to get skills using games or toys. Games in education provides a valuable opportunity for hands-on experimental learning. En ambos casos y en todos los casos en los que sepamos emplear gaming y el aprendizaje basado en juegos de manera acertada, va a ser algo productivo para nuestra clase. Porque los chicos se van a motivar, van a participar, van a preguntar y van a querer incrementar su conocimiento por su nivel de competitividad. Yo quiero saber más porque quiero ganar. Y para ganar necesito hacer puntos. Y para hacer puntos necesito saber. Todo va ligado. Now, vamos a definir. ¿Se acuerdan que les pedí el concepto al inicio, que lo hicimos en el Jamboard? ¿Qué es lo que yo pienso que es? ¿No es cierto? Ahora les voy a pasar el link de un Padlet y ustedes me van a decir qué pensaban antes de empezar la sesión y qué piensan ahora que ya terminó esa sesión. ¿Qué pensaba antes yo? Y ahora, ¿qué pienso sobre cualquier parte de lo que hemos trabajado el día de hoy en la sesión? Puede ser acerca de mi idea de gaming y mi idea de aprendizaje basado en juegos, puede ser mi idea de cómo establecer las reglas, puede ser mi idea de mi manejo de clase, lo que ustedes quieran. You can use English or Spanish. It's good. ¿Ok? Estoy colocando en este momento el link en el chat y voy a compartir la pantalla para que ustedes puedan ver sus ideas. A ver, ¿qué pensaba antes y qué pienso ahora? El link de la asistencia siempre lo pasan al final, Yuriko. Si no, también lo pasan por el WhatsApp grupal. No te preocupes. Vamos, vamos. Somos 90 participantes en la sala. Quiero escuchar a todos decirme qué pensaba antes y qué pienso ahora. De repente he reforzado el concepto, de repente estoy segura de lo que ya antes sabía, de repente cambié mi idea totalmente porque, wow, no, esto no lo sabía, esto es nuevo. Los leo, vamos. Before the class, I thought games was about creating songs or activities in a class without using technology. Now I know that it's very useful, some apps to motivate our students. Very good. Thank you so much. Excellent. I love it. What else? What else? Come on, don't be shy. No sean tímidos. No hay respuesta mala. En mi caso he reforzado el conocimiento. Soy consciente que las aplicaciones digitales ayudan, es cierto, ayudan bastante, pero hay que saber cuándo emplearlas y cómo emplearlas. Acuérdate que si no tiene sentido, los chicos no entienden el sentido del juego que están teniendo, es tiempo perdido. Antes pensaba que la gamificación era lo mismo que aprendizaje basado en juegos y ahora entendí la diferencia. Así es, sí. Es más, mano al pecho, yo también pensaba que era lo mismo. Cuando llevé el curso, recién fue que entendí la diferencia entre ambos e incluso su aplicación y en qué momentos. Muy bien, ya voy 3. ¡Vamos! Antes pensaba que gamificación y juegos era lo mismo. Sí, es cierto. Es un error muy, muy, muy común. Porque parece que fuera la traducción. Pero sí le dan un significado diferente a la hora de aplicarlo. Me encanta. A ver, chicos, lo sigo leyendo. Vamos. Somos 90 y tengo 6 comentarios. Antes pensaba que desconocí el tema, ahora tengo conocimiento y aplicaré para poder mejorar aprendizajes significativos. Muy bien. Yo les voy a colgar de todas maneras el PPT en el Classroom para que tengan acceso, si quieren descargarlo también lo pueden descargar, y tengan algunos nombres de las páginas que se usan generalmente, ¿no? O sea, tenemos el MindMeter, el Padlet, por ejemplo, para adultos, para los más pequeños tenemos lo que es Kahoot, lo que es el ClassDojo, el WordWall, Live Worksheets. Ahora, Live Worksheets también podemos encontrar para adultos, ojo. Incluso hay simulacros de exámenes Cambridge, que son súper, súper útiles. No, gracias a ustedes. Gracias de verdad porque me encanta compartir mis mañanas con ustedes. Me dejan el resto del día llena de energía. Que gamificación solo se empleaba para las TICs. Sí está enteramente relacionado con las TICs, pero no solamente se utiliza como tal. O sea, puedes usarlo como herramienta en el aula también. Chicos, han puesto ya el link de asistencia en el chat por si acaso. Sí, el Padlet también se puede usar con niños, es cierto. Sí, Padlet también se puede usar con los más pequeños. En realidad, cualquier herramienta bien guiada se puede utilizar con cualquier edad. Tú puedes utilizar ClassDojo con adultos y se vacilan en la clase. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I love to, when I read these kind of messages. De verdad que me encanta cuando recibo estos mensajes. Me motivan a seguir enseñando. Muy bien. Ya para terminar por el día de hoy, la tarea del día de hoy la voy a colgar en el Classroom también y en una hoja, en un documento de Google, lo que van a hacer ustedes es describirme 2 actividades que hayan utilizado en su clase o que quieran utilizar en su clase. Una para aprendizaje basado en juegos y la otra para gamificación. Ya sabemos cuál es la diferencia, ya sabemos cuál es la diferencia en la aplicación. Entonces lo que vamos a hacer ahora es darnos una idea. Si la has usado, cuéntame cómo la usaste, dónde la usaste, cuál fue tu experiencia, te gustó, no te gustó, tus chicos lo disfrutaron. Si quieres usarla, si te da curiosidad, si la acabas de conocer y te encantó, también cómo la usarías, en qué contexto la usarías. Cuéntenme porque quiero conocer un poco cuál es la realidad que tenemos cada uno. Y ahí terminamos por el día de hoy.